Feel free to talk.
Boss, we've done all as you said.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, boss. Everything like you asked. It's in my car, boss.
I'm surprised. You're actually good for something. So, where is it, Brady?
Here, in the trunk.
What the fuck is that? You fat Irish prick. You're supposed to bring me a coat, not a skinny animal kid. Where is LOOT.BET code I asked it for?
Well, he wasn't talking.
Are you out your mind, Brady? Because I swear I put your brain to sleep. He's ain't talking because his fucking mouth is closed.
So, maybe
I tell you everything. God is loot. I'm young. I don't wanna die.
boss, cut his loot.
Oh my god, idiot. Fuck. I surrendered by idiots.
Hey, kid. Sorry about that.
I surrendered by idiots.
Hey, kid. Sorry about that.
Welcome back. We are about to get ourselves into the second map of Dust 2, and it is going to be NAVI Jr. coming up against the Sangal Esports side. As a little bit of stuttering here, but I think the team just switching between feeds, so we should be alright. As it is Dust 2, as I said, and once again, it is me, Dan Chan, and Flakes. And we could be seeing a pretty clean victory here on Dust 2 for Sangal.
Thought you were about to welcome me back to Microsoft PowerPoint 2021, the competition. From what we were seeing there, the official esport.
I mean, if farming sim's an esport, then it doesn't.
Anything could happen, right?
Yeah.
Anything could happen.
But yeah, I mean, Dust 2, not really a map NAVI Jr. have fun playing on generally. I think they'll probably push it to like 8-9 rounds themselves, but I don't really see them
The
finding.
good news is they don't typically get slaughtered here.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're just going to completely keel over and die and we're just going to be here for 20 minutes. They typically put on a game. They just can't close.
Yeah.
They're like like an amateur salesman. They've got all the talk, but at the end of the day, they could just never close a deal. And that is the situation if another junior is. They've got the skills, they've got the tools to get it done, they just can't close. They're going to have to try and prove that record wrong today and get their first win in the last 3 months on Dust 2.
We head into the ninth round. Let's see if they can get that. Maybe. Well, would you prefer to start CT side? I think most teams would, even on Dust 2, which is typically sort of E-sided. I think most teams would still prefer a CT start, but
yeah, I think CT side is generally the preferred. It's just a little bit calmer, a little bit less shenanigans.
Mm-hmm. And we do see Sangal starting out on that CT side. They did win the knife, and actually, are they? Or did they? Yeah, they're CT side. So hopefully for NAVI Jr. they can get a few rounds at least early on before Sangal start to sort of build momentum on the CT side. But yeah, as you said, unlikely NAVI win the map, but also unlikely they'll get sort of curb stomped here.
Has to be the question you're kind of asking yourself is kind of what is the scoreline going to be? How much of a one-sided affair is it going to be? And I think that's where really the one thing that I'd like to see from NAVI is make sure you're using your pauses, make sure you're really thinking everything through. Don't rush this. This is not a map that you just want to kind of throw yourself into, see what sticks, and if you lose it, you lose it. It's the same as before. Like, give it a bloody good go, because at the end of the day, winning this map is probably going to make your life a lot easier going into the later half of this best of 3, because our third map is definitely not a great place for them either, to be candid. Of course, that's Mirage, so.
Indeed, it is, and no kit for Sangal as we head into the pistol round. interestingly enough. Whereas Navi Junior, they've gone very heavy on utility. They've got 3 smokes, 3 flashbangs, and Molotov. They are looking to create some space towards long. They've even got a P250 for Menezi, just to duel those long ranges. And with Engine getting dinked down, that's where the P250 would have been nice, because it doesn't get the instant kill, but Onke doesn't even care. 2 for the Glock either way. And no trade from Sangal in return. May just had a bit of a look up towards top mid here, and he's going to be coming behind them, but I think Fear is watching for this flank. As the smoke's come down, Logic, well, goes 1 for 1. Not what he would have hoped for as he gets collected through the smoke by Menezi. And now it's just Paz all alone, a 1 versus 4. The rest of his team have been vanquished. And he's just hoping that maybe he can catch a kill here. God, just dig down instantly. Pogolev pushing him. That was a nice flick, but Onke will finish it up with a 3rd kill for himself. Everything just going Navi's way in that round, really. But now...
That is the start that we want to see, though, to be fair. So...
yeah, true.
That is what we want to be seeing, isn't it, at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Look at those loot.bet odds, 1.75 to 2.01. They are pretty damn close. You could... yeah, can't separate that at all.
I wouldn't know who to bet on.
Did you just see him?
I am not
That's pretty
sure.
close.
Onke has definitely seen Logic, man. And, well, Logic nailed it down. An opening for Navi Junior, and one that they'll just run with here, because they are just against the pistol flakes.
Apprehensive here for Sangal, as you say, just these pistols. Not really a ton you can do to hold on to these sights here. You're just playing sort of the headshot angles with those Deagles, hoping you can get a couple of early picks as the pushes come through. Using those scouts to get that chip damage that we talked about in that one. Unfortunately, the first Eagle shot doesn't connect. The scouts failing as well as the kills come in all across the board. And what's the one thing that we all know about Beast Like Dust 2, Dancham?
It's a bit of a
It
fortress.
is the hardest site in the game to retake. Absolute fortress.
Onke having a bit of fun. 6 kills already in 2 rounds. He'll be hoping he can continue that into the full gun rounds, because right now for Sangal, they'll just be on, well, basic USPs here. Nothing really at all for them to work with. Navi Junior should just be able to have a happy day. Happy fun time for them. Try and build up a bit of cash, send Pogolev in to try and find some of those opening kills, get a couple on the Mac 10, because obviously $600 per kill with that weapon compared to just the $300 you get for a kill with the rifles. So definitely economic bonuses to be had by using the SMGs here, especially considering limited armor for the Sangal side. In fact, no armor for Sangal side here. Means that the Mac 10 would just rip through a lot of these players. But it is Paz who actually finds it open. The Deagle collects a first as they went for some last-minute pistol buys at the end there. Still a couple USPs on the field. But you can see Sangal really trying to bait for their teammate over at the car. Hasn't worked out one bit. Pogolev gets the first kill. Does a lot of damage, but low armor in the Mac 10. Gonna have to get that one.
A lot of money to be made if he could just finish them off, isn't there?
Yeah.
He's got thousands of dollars dangling right in front of him. It's like the carrot that's just there. Just go and grab it. Go on, go take it. Well, it seems to be the rifles that are stealing away the frags, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I think he just wanted to play a bit more safe, because you can see there's kills being found by Sangal. And they're actually left in a disadvantage here, Navi Junior. They should still be able to wrap this thing up with no armor for the Sangal players. You can see 2 quick kills come through, and it leaves it all up towards Sensei, who was already tagged low by the Mac 10. As it is Pogolev to finish it up. And does salvage the secondary AK as well. So they do take the 2 high-value weapons out the round as well. They're not all a horrible round for NAVI Junior, but certainly losing more than they'd sort of want in a situation like this. For Sangal, the guns will come out now. Sensei, the AWP for him. TUM4, the AUG for Major, and a healthy chunk of damage from that nade, actually, courtesy of Cynix.
The push. I don't know if I love this. If he's just ready and waiting with the AK, this could be game over. But no, he gets the flick up with the AWP. That's a surprise. The AK just not holding the angle there. Just gets a bit caught. Sort of watching the push, but not watching the push at the same time. That's not a pick you want to be seeing Sangal get away with. Just waltzing up through B tunnels with an AWP like that.
Yeah, certainly going unpunished. Leave Sangal in that 1-man advantage, but now Navi, they hope to try and find some space towards it. It's not really working out, Flakes, is it? The left still in a disadvantage, so... Navi Junior, they need to try and find a pick that will bring them into that 3-on-3.
Nice little flash play coming in from Sangal as well for the retake here. Zazul really looking up for them. It's just textbook execution towards this A site. The flash towards short makes for an easy kill. Now they're relying on just Easy to hold this one down up against 3 players. It is not looking possible. He will be quickly dealt with, and the long 10-second defuse going to immediately follow. And for that, that's Sangal's first round. The first gun round at that, showing that they still are going to be the team that are a tough one to crack coming here on Dust 2, especially when you look at some of these early picks they got. I mean, this was just disappointing. You're able to not only pre-peek towards back of tunnels, but then also looking lower tunnel as well and gets away with the frag. There's not a frag you want to be seeing Sangal get away with.
Certainly not. And sort of correlations to the first map here of Train, in which obviously the first gun round comes through. Sangal, they win it out courtesy of an opening shot from Sensei. Able to find a kill on the AWP and give the Sangal side something to work with. Now Navi Junior, they're left with a few AKs, the AWP for Menezi. Just a deagle for Cynix, though. He's had to really make concessions with his weaponry here. No rifle for him. He'll hope to try and find one strewn across the battlefield in the coming minute or so. But this position for Sensei would be enough to net Navi Junior an opening. Oh, the run boost! Doesn't really work out for them. Luckily, no kills found by Sangal, but it could have been oh so deadly, that.
One of the ones where you watch it and you just really want it to pay off, don't you?
Yeah.
I do love a good run boost. It pays some early dividends, but not just yet. 40 seconds though on the clock. Navi begin to put the pieces in play here for an A take. Really, the players to watch here all over towards Car. Sensei just holding the crossbow, get flashed off though. Contemplates falling back to long, but decides, you know what, I'm going to stand my ground. There's a kill to be had here. And so there is one already in the bag. They haven't pushed off the back of that either, which means that there would have been a second opportunity for him, but unfortunately, no flash to be thrown means he will be taken down, but the trades come through thick and fast. Navi, they will get a plant, but not without taking some losses.
Now the difficult part for them, trying to hold their ground in this retake. Pogolev with just 7 points of health, needs to be careful, he isn't straight into the Molotov, and as quickly as you think it's about to get going, it's already done. Very efficient from Sangal there. I don't even think a bullet was fired by Navi Junior on that retake, as it is going to be second on the board for the Turkish side, and they now start their conquest.
Everything sort of came through as we expected. It was a great little double peak from them as well. Unfortunately, just holding the A site like that is really difficult if you don't have the utility, and frankly, you don't have the numbers as well. You really want to make sure that wherever possible, you can retain some slight advantage on that A take. But being low HP in a 2v3, 2v4, there's very little you can do there, to be frank, because they just drop the molly, they drop the flash as well over the top of short. You're going to be blind, can't see a thing. Your long play's been able to push up close. It's extremely difficult to hold.
With just pistols for NAVI Junior, there's really not much opportunity for much to come of this. A kill or two would be nice. With the more high caliber pistols, the Deagles in a few of these players' hands, but Sangal, they aren't going to give up anything easily here. Any bloodshed would be reciprocated in kind, I feel. And I'm sure NAVI Junior, just pushing towards the A site, are going to feel that very, very shortly as a lot of damage done. But it's actually Pogolev who does find the opening. Sensei's starting to find shots as we look from how a crow would see this. Body's just 4 one after another from the T side. It's just carnage. As Sensei finds 4 in all of that. I mean, 2 kills do come through for NAVI Junior, but you can just see here, Body is just hitting the deck one after another. Sensei finding kill after kill. Oh, and only just the head peeking. It was enough, though.
My concern here is, you look past the pistol for a second, we really haven't seen a hint of gun round success here for NAVI.
No. They got a couple plants, but they were in such awkward positions when they came through. And
They weren't really winnable plants, that's the problem.
No,
As you
yeah,
said, kind of awkward positions that were easily dispatched of by the Sangal side. If we don't start to see some early signs of success here from Na'Vi, then this is looking like it's going to be quite a lopsided affair. Sangal, you can see the confidence is absolutely reeling on them. The aggressive play from Engine deep into a long, that's going to give him information for almost unrelented bounds. He just knows exactly if and when they're going to be pushing through a long, if at all. So if they see this a short play coming through, it just allows for easy rotations from card down towards long. They can go for a retake setup. It just gives them options. It's absolutely beautiful.
Navi again trying to push in towards A. Again, just a short take. It's the same same for Navi Junior here. And I mean, this time at least there's a bit of a smoke that
This is
blocks some
better.
of the...
It's one big
Yeah.
flashbang. There's one flashbang that allows them to cross without getting the first pick coming in from the AWP. Fear as well starting to secure those frags coming in towards Short and his teammate in mid respectively. So this is boding well. The trades are coming the way of Na'Vi, and ultimately Sensei becomes last man standing. And I think that flash that I mentioned right at the start is actually key here. Sensei, he was forced completely off the site. With the second flash that then came through, he wasn't really given much other choice than to retreat towards car. If you remove the AWP from the equation, you're able to secure that first blood pick towards short, then the trades start falling in your direction. You add into the mix that every player won their duel. They didn't even need to trade. I mean, look, it's a 4v1. Now, a 3v1, and things go from sketchy to pretty damn clean for Na'Vi. It's actually quite a solid round.
I sort of sighed when I saw them just going for a short take again in towards A, but they adapt a little bit. They adapt. They get themselves, obviously, that flashbang, a couple extra smokes that sort of block some of the more crucial avenues for the AWP to take shots from. And it results in a much cleaner round. And one that you'd be forgiven for thinking that they'd done 100 times already this game. Now they look for something different. Long, looking like the point of order this time. They've got a few players out there looking for aggression. It might be that they try and fake again, just short control and push that way. But you can see how Sangal, they're set up already with quite a few players ready to take this contact. They know what Na'Vi have been planning. And both of these teams trying to use that fact against each other. But with just pistols, Sangal unlikely to find much, but hey. 3 kills come through, and they've actually got the advantage here.
Patience is key, though. They may have the advantage on paper, but if they set this up correctly, we could be seeing quite a nice little hold here from Navi. The only caveat being Logic is going for quite a crafty position from up top, and looks like he has been spotted, but will not be caught. Now going to use the smoke to allow him to cross and avoid being pincered by Carp. Great shot from Sensei. It just deletes Sangal out of the map, and from there it becomes a beautiful retake. That is... you remove the AWP shot from the equation there, and I think you've got a great round for Navi, to be honest. I think that's, as a 2v3, I actually still think Navi are in a great position, but... what a shot from the AWP. I'd love to see that from his perspective. That seems nasty.
I was going to say, I hope we can get a replay of that shot from Sensei. It doesn't look like we are. Oh, dear. But, I mean, I don't know how... I don't know if he's... Surely he didn't see the player at all. Like, smoke down. Just blasted him through the smoke. That was... yeah, okay. Well, that's unfortunate for Navi Junior. 4-4 the scoreline. And a bit of a janky buy for the CIS teamers. Cynex with a Deagle. A Galil for Fear, a couple AKs, and Menezi on the AWP, but damage being done. Oh, Menezi needed to find that shot. That would have been huge for the Navi Juniors side. Instead, they've given away a lot of intel and not really found much for it. Taking a lot of damage as well. But there's still opportunities in this one. They've not thrown away the round, not yet at least.
Seconds. That's all they've got left. Navi spending a whole lot of time early on here in the round to secure map control, which is the standard Dust 2 strategy, but unfortunately they'd gained absolutely nothing for it, apart from took a ton of damage, and now they've lost a player in mid as well. Arguably a disastrous start to the round, and probably an end to the round as well. Likely going to see this second push towards mid. Seems to be more of a contact play, just waiting for the rotations. Hopeful that maybe they can catch someone on this push. Seems like Paz is on the ball, but will be caught by Onka. But now you have to get away unscathed. The 4v4 and reposition. Sensei, he's just going to rotate back into it. Onka, don't do it, buddy. Just be patient. There you go. Perfectly done. Will be traded by Engine, but with the kill done now, all they have to do is take down Logic, and away you go. You're at a 2v2. You've got the B site. This just comes down to holding on to the retake. That frag grenade could have been deadly. Oh, my lord.
They don't actually get the plant down in time.
Yeah, that's...
I'm
just upset even just watching that. I mean, they've done everything pretty solid at that point, but the one thing that's missing, I didn't even notice it myself, the time. They just spent too long faffing around in mid.
Yeah, I think there was 6 seconds as they got the kill on towards Logic, which would leave you 2 seconds to run across the open area.
I actually think that frag grenade would have killed the planter as well. So that was
Possibly.
a bloody perfect frag grenade.
Yeah.
And they were low enough HP. I mean, 20, 30 HP. That's enough with a frag grenade to get that kill.
Oh, for sure. It is Sangal who take the lead in this game, and Navi Junior, they actually go all in with the couple weapons they had saved. They go all in on their economy again, and they get an extra AK up, a couple of Deagles for Pog 11, Cynex. His Engine needs to be a little bit careful. Down to 24 HP, the AWP has tagged him up. He was looking for a little bit of intel over towards those long doors. Instead, has to fall away with just the knowledge of an AWP being there. That's some nice intel for Paz as well. Spots out the feeties of someone in towards mid. No kills found, and now Navi, they're starting to push out through long, trying to gain a bit of control towards short as well. But Engine, he'll strike as the flashbang is great. They'll go 2 for 1 out towards long, Sangal. And now the push towards short is where it really matters. You can see Menezzi had to back away from that long engagement to regroup with his teammates. They did not want to go down with the bomb. And with 27 seconds, they've just opened up the B site.
This is basically the exact same play from the previous round, except they've still yet to actually get on the side. So here's hoping they don't repeat the success of, well, simply not keeping an eye on the time. No smoke in mid and trying to cross with an AWP there. That seems to be a death wish, and it's going to be the last round all over again. That's quite painful to watch. It really is. Crossing mid without a smoke there is incredibly sketch.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It might be better in that situation just to fall away, try and just regroup with Menezzi up in towards the upper tunnels, just play from a 2-man retake in the site.
That's kind of where I'm netting out as well. Obviously, you can't knock on them for not using a smoke they didn't have. But at the same time, there's a better decision to be made there, which is just avoid the ability to get caught in the first place. It's highly likely after a failed A take that their AWP is going to be playing an aggressive angle down mid, watching to see if you do choose to go through mid for that quick rotate to B and get that wraparound play on the player tucked in car, given that they knew they only had one player to deal with there as well on the Sangal side. So going for the big wide swing mid, you're just not going to win that fight against an AWP. It's extremely unlikely. So regrouping B could have been the option. That said, they were short on time, much like what we saw in that round just before it. The B hit was left right to the very last second, so 10 seconds on the clock, and that's always a bit touch and go.
Well, I mean, Menezzi had a smoke for the doors on B. But, yes.
That's what we're getting at, right? Is if they both grouped up towards B, they could have used Menezzi's smoke, dropped it on door, got across, traded out the player car, worst case. You still win, what, 1v2 to try and secure the round? But you could... They also only had 20 seconds, so it'll be what it'll be. Now we've got 50 seconds on the clock. And a pretty rough spot for NAVI to be in. They're being collapsed in from behind, forcing them to take the B site. If they don't get a move on soon, they're not going to get on the site. They're just going to get shot in the back, and it's going to be very uncomfortable for them. That's exactly what happens. Now there's pretty much no winning this gunfight.
I mean, it seemed like a bit of a throwaway round for NAVI there. Did have the AWP on Menezzi, but it was just pistols other than that. So, yeah, it didn't seem like much was going to come from that round from the NAVI side. As it is 7 now on the board for the Turks, and NAVI, they will rebuy into this one. 4 AKs, the AWP for Menezzi. Sangal, a lot stronger than they were in the early days of Train. I mean, that's not hard to beat. They have a decent amount of utility, NAVI here. They still have a few smokes, 4 in fact, quite a few flashbangs, a couple mollies. There's certainly utility to get yourself into a site, but you don't want to be messing around with your utility too much and sort of wasting what you don't have. Because they have had to make a few concessions off this. Not the best utility coming into the round, but a minute on the clock. An engine, he's pushed up towards the door. Does Pogolev expect this? Either way, he's going to back away, so whether or not he expects it is a different matter, and Harvey just sort of hemmed in towards short here.
Yeah. Wanting to burst through door. Doesn't quite check for powers. That means first blood will go the way at the CT side, but NAVI quick to respond. It means a double kill back in their favour, but again, minimal utility invested into mid-cross means it will not go without bloodshed. Thankfully, this time around, the duels are won. And that means just Sensei, last man standing. He has to go through the inevitable smoke placed. And that'll be job done for the NAVI side. Makes a nice change, but it does come down to an absolute battering of duels that were picked up by the NAVI side. Whether that's repeatable or not is the big question.
Yeah, it was just duel after duel towards mid and CT there. And NAVI do come out on top, but Sangal, they're going to play this next round safe economically here. They go for 2 deagles, that's it. As well as a smoke and a flashbang. But the rest of the players, they're just on USPs. They are gambling on this round, and they're gambling towards B as well. 4 players in that position. They've left Sensei alone over by CT, just as a bit of an intel player. Or actually, on short, rather, as a bit of an intel player. Just so Sangal sort of know what's going on. Maybe rotate over if the opportunity arises. But right now, they'll stay tucked with 4 players over towards that B site, hoping that they'll come their way. And now it looks like Navi Junior are looking set towards this A site. And this should just be Navi closing this one down. As you can see from the map, nobody really here to challenge Navi over at this A site. I don't even know if Sangal want to give Navi any kills here.
I think your goal just has to be to use this as a round to chit-chat. There's no point really feeding them for no reason. It's not like Sangal gain anything for dying here either, so... Best bet, try and pincer on this 1 AK.
Oh dear.
This feels like a classic DM match, doesn't it?
I'm surprised Donkey's still alive, to be honest. I mean, he's just
How
gonna...
is he still alive?
Oh, he almost aces it. Fair play, Donkey. That was impressive. Almost had the last
It's
kill
like
as
being
well.
up against the raid boss, isn't it? He's 1 HP, he's trying to down the boss, and Onka's just there, just still swinging, still punching away. You can clearly tell he's been in the DM server this morning.
Yeah, he's looking pretty strong already. Sangal, though, they're the ones still with the lead. And ooh, look at those entry kills. I mean, Paz, Pogolev, Onke, all on 3 kills. In terms of entries. So, for Navi, they've had their fair share of openings, but limited opportunities in the gun rounds to convert, as they are 7-6 down, and Sensei will add another entry to his list. Takes down Onke and gives the Sangal side that 5-on-4 logic. He's left with just an MP9 in this round. Not the best weaponry, but we've already a kill found. That means there's guns around that he can potentially pick up. And the MP9 itself is not a terrible weapon. Just not optimal in a lot of circumstances.
Really a moneymaker, though.
Oh,
So
for sure.
optimal in that regard. Just not really the gun you'd like on a gun round, I suppose, so I can see it from that perspective as well. That said, when you're tucked into this corner and B, an SMG that you just hold mouse 1 with and pray is pretty...
Yeah,
it's a pretty lethal gun, all things considered.
be very deadly for sure. So could Paz, though, just spraying through with an M4. Somehow managing to miss everybody. Eventually
If he gets the right
starts
headshot
pressing.
here, it's bad news for all involved.
Ooh. Ends up in a 2-on-2, as the MP9 actually wasn't able to find anything from that close position. They actually check him, which was interesting. And now, Navi, they can lock down this B bomb site. Smoke down towards the door. Molly burning by the window has now extinguished. It's
Those
ending in
steps should be a
Sensei.
dead giveaway. That there's at least one player there. So they're going to come flying through, forcing the issue. But no spray transfer today. It will be a round picked up by Sangal.
That was a super nice retake. Both of them just piling through the window with the help of a flashbang. As eventually finds the player through that smoke. He put so many bullets through. Manages to get a second as well in the madness, but all in all, it still results in an 8 for the CT side, and they've secured themselves the lead going into that second half. Navi into the last round now, hoping they can find 7 and split the half. But you know, I don't know. Sangal have been so strong in these gun rounds. I mean, you see Navi with 6 on the board, but you have to remember 3 were off the back of the pistol and the follow-ups, and again, it's Sensei with an opening kill.
Damage done. That is savage. Frag grenades galore on short. Now they're going to go for the push through the smoke as well, across the top of it, I'd imagine. Just try and get those early kills. It will pay dividends as the first frag comes through. Still, so much damage done here. That is going to help Sangal in what will inevitably be a job at holding this site as first push. First kill for the AWP. There's the second repeat. There's no flash, keep in mind, towards long yet, so nothing to force him back to pit. We've seen this time and time again. You need the flash to force him back. The second flash to keep him running. Make sure he cannot re-peek after re-peek, because the more he can peek, the more damage that gets done. Thankfully, the smoke will be there to allow the long cross to come through. From there, the bomb should be able to fight its way down, but not without taking some losses. 1 HP is all that remains on Fear. It's just not going to cut it.
They didn't expect that second player coming through short. They'd already dealt with 1. And I think it was Logic coming through short as well. Ends up catching out Menezi. Sensei, 3 kills with the AWP. If you include the opener as well, it's definitely high impact with that weapon. That's for sure. And it means that Sangal, they find a 9th by the end of the half. NAVI Junior have to sit with just a 6. And it was just a spattering of gun rounds for them. Not really able to find anything consistent on that T side. But now they'll try their hand at the defense, and there's certainly the opportunity here to try and pull yourself back into this game. But for Sangal, they're surely going to be feeling pretty confident to take this one to a 3rd map decider off Mirage, which I'm actually looking forward to. Menezi always has strong games on Mirage, so that's one to look out for. Here the ticks.
They're eager to get rolling, aren't they? That's for sure.
Yeah, signaling we're about to head into things, and I mean, pretty.
This is kind of what we expected, I think. Is the one thing when you look at the scoreline, this is pretty much classic Navi on Dust 2. Where I'm optimistic though is from what I was looking at, they actually have a not half bad CT side, so I'm optimistic.
One thing I just want to note as well, though, just notice there at the half time with the scoreboard up, Dynix is on 1 kill. He's had a rough couple games. Menezi, though, he is not. He is found the opening kill, collects Major very quickly, and they're just going to back away with a 1-man advantage, Navi Junior. They've been super strong on the pistols.
Smart. Yeah, it's smart. I mean, they feel confident with the pistols anyway. They've had relatively good success in this best of 3 with those pistols. They've now got the frag advantage as well, which is super important on Dust 2. But even if this B hit does end up coming through, they should be in a good place to be able to appropriately respond to it. Especially when you consider they've got the 2 players up short and Pogolov as well watching for the mid play. They pretty much know exactly what's going on at this point. Now it's just a case of can they hit their shots, which is always the hard bit, but only time will tell. The Glock's rattling away. Still nothing to come through yet. It's only the CT side hitting their shots right now. Keep that in mind. Finally, a frag comes in for Engine, but he has to sneak into mid to get it. And this is where things start to turn the tide. 4 kills, quick and fast. Sangal, they go from far behind to rapidly ahead with a bomb down as well. Seems like Navi were in all the right positions. They had the exact setup for it. And then everything just fell away from them in the last sort of 3 seconds.
Yeah, it was super clean opener. But then like a couple dinks come through from the Glocks onto those players in the A site, and they just don't want to peek, and it allows the Glocks just to get so close to those players in the site, and then they just start rattling off shots, finishing off the low HP, getting headshots through, and it just ends up with Sangal finding 10 on the board. The Navi Junior side, they'll try and fight back with double scouts, and Ornkir and Menezi are the ones to wield those rather expectedly. A bit of a duel here with Sensei, trying to spot each other out. Let's see. Kill from Major, that will open the round up. This push top mid could find some damage. Sure, if I don't think Engine's going to expect it. He certainly isn't. Gets caught. That's a weapon that can be picked up as well now. Okay, it has an AK-47. They still should be Sangal closing this one down. Bomb planted towards A. 4v2. Onke is just saving that AK, I believe. Oh no, he's looking for a bit more damage.
I think he's trying to hold the headshot angle, thinking that's a good kill for him. But classic bit of Pika's advantage there, just gets swung on and immediately dispatched.
Second kill comes through.
It's a nice 1-2 punch.
Yeah, I think that's his second kill of the game. So
bit harsh.
I think.
I suppose it's factual.
Yes. Didn't say anything rude.
Poor guy. Just not really able to get into it so far, I think it's fair to say.
No, the thing is though, he's had some great performances that I've seen in the past. So certainly a bit of an anomaly. This just a rough day at the office. But it is now a 5-round lead for Sangal. And Junior, well, they are just going to gamble through mid-doors, and it doesn't work out. A lot of damage comes through, a lot of kills come through, and before you really even know it, the round's over. So 12-6, Sangal have double the scoreline of NAVI Junior as they look to try and set their sights on 16 now, 4 behind that scoreline. Looking good for them, Flakes.
This is starting to look very, very good for them, isn't it? Unfortunately, Navi just not really able to build up some steam. Only a couple more major gun rounds for them where they can really prove that this is not going to be just another Navi Dust 2 loss. I love this play as well, just explosive towards A long, flashes out as well. Smoke on the corner buys a little bit of support for the Navi side, but as the push comes through, the shots just don't seem to be helping them out at all here. The molly going to cause a little bit of damage as they run on over. Certainly making it difficult for Sangal to cross here, but ultimately they're still winning the gunfights right now.
Menezzi low HP in that smoke though. Logic's trying to look for him. Somehow Menezzi finds it, which is more than he was really worth from that position. But it's not going to matter all in all because Sensei, some sensational shots. Hey, you get it.
The reality is that even with a couple of nice kills coming through, the fact that Menezzi even gets the kill there as he tries to hold them off, it doesn't seem to really matter. It seems like Sangal are able just to waltz up onto A at this point and just wide swing every Jules. We saw the MAC-10 chasing them down through the smoke. It just feels like Navi aren't really able to get rolling here in these gun rounds, and a lot of it is coming down to just Sangal wide swinging, taking all these fights, and frankly, they're winning them, so why not?
Why not indeed? No need to respect your opponents if they aren't worth respecting. Sangal, that's looking pretty good right now for them. Surely going to be picking up a 14th round. And yeah, and then Navi, they have one more gun round to play with. Plus a force buy if they don't lose that. So not going to be fun for them. That's for sure, as Engine is just clearing up house towards long. It's only Sinix remaining. And not even he is going to survive much longer. So, very clean from Sangal, and they are looking merciless here on Dust 2. Good entry kills from Paz. 5 in total for him, leading the way.
Somewhat of a daunting match here now for Navi, unfortunately. I'm going to try and hold on so long, and to be fair, they do secure the first kill, but the trading game is really where this is going to matter. And arguably, it's going their way so far to secure the couple return kills. And easy landing shots as well. Does bode well with the bomb secured. And now 2v1, Paz left on an island in mid, head blown immediately off. There will at least be one more for the Navi coffers. Whether it'll be two is the big question. And of course, Sangal immediately going to rebuy. They have money for days.
Yeah, they have so much cash in reserve. I think they can buy up again if they need to. Yeah, I think they have enough for at least one more buy as well. So for Navi Junior, they got to try and find consistency here on the CT side. They don't have room for mistakes, and that is certainly one there. Fear gets caught by Logic very early on. The AWP, well, secondary AWP, in fact, for Sangal in some ways. Yeah, I think it was spawn-based. He now drops it over towards Sensei. Main AWP for them, and he'll find one of his own as well. A little 1-2 punch from Sangal, and Navi Junior are 2 players down, with little inflicted onto Sangal's morale for this round. It's looking like there's really not going to be much to work with here. 15 on the cards, and so is Mirage. Peeky shot from Onke, though. Catches the timing with Paz Jiggle peeking behind the smoke. And with Pogorev up close as well towards long doors, he could single-handedly win this round if Sangal don't check him properly, don't clear him, which they're not going to. Pogorev finds the kill. And that now leaves them just in a one-man disadvantage, and he has long control as the Sangal side are pushing in towards A. If you could find one more from this position, that would be huge. Push forward, though. His teammates locked in combat with the flank player towards B, and Pogorev is left to do the dirty work towards A, hoping for his teammate to rotate over as quick as possible. A few shots come through as he's spotted out, and that reveals his position. The 2 players in sight swing him, and Onke has no chance anymore. Hoping just to find the player mid, but he can't even do that. As Sangal, they find map point, and that is unfortunate for Pogorev. Had the sort of, well, neither of the players were looking for him. He could have had the timing on at least one of them, but just gets caught, just spotted by that player from B site. And now Blake's, it all comes down to this one final buy for Navi Junior, and it is broken.
Yeah, it's a broken buy, and it's really a broken tale of Dust 2, isn't it? Or a broken record, should we even say. It's not really been much different from previous Navi Dust 2 performances. They've had a few good rounds here and there, but overall seeming a little bit kind of discombobulated in play. Already first kill given up by just a solo aggressive play towards short, a Hail Mary at that. Sangal looks like they are in prime position to get this one done, and forces, of course, to a wonderful third map as Onke spots a shoulder, sees the opportunity, and will get a kill at least, so evens things out for now.
I was going to say that would be a weapon that Silence can pick up, but caught by the player towards the B tunnels, that ain't going to work out for him. He's dead, and when you're dead, you can't collect weapons, surprisingly. Pushing towards B, Onke has a lot of work to do. Gets a first, but hoping for more. Can't quite do so. He actually gets caught by the player mid. Pogorev not able to take him down in time, but it's still a 2-on-2. Bomb looking to get planted, but Engine, he's not going to get it down yet. And 35 seconds on the clock. There is time to try and bait out some aggression from Navi as they try and spam through, try and find some sort of player in a position they can exploit. And again, bait, but it's going to be Fear just running in with the MP9. And 2 very quick kills come through for him as Na'Vi, they stay alive a little bit longer here. 8 on the board for them now.
They are going to hang on just for now, but it's got to be perfect Counter-Strike from this point forward, Stanshan. They cannot afford a single mistake, otherwise that will be it. A third map, here we come. So, given that, what is the play going to be? Well, Sangal have decided, you know what? What's worked for us in the past? Well, we just lick the stamp and send it out mid. Bit of aggression. That seems to have been the aim of the game the entire time so far. And, well, so far so good. They got mid-control, but they are getting cut down for it. Na'Vi with a huge spray off the back of Fizz. Triple kill. The round comes easy.
They're just finding the perfect timing on that push through the mid smoke. Gets 2 players lined up towards window plus Major. That is a huge amount of damage done by him, and it does secure Na'Vi the 9th, as you say, and keeps him in this just a little bit longer. 6 behind. Seems like 16 for Sangal is surely going to be coming sooner or later. 1 more buy for them before their economy runs dry. There's 5 AKs across the board, not even the AWP for Sensei. And Ezzy, he has the AWP for the CT side, though. He'll be hoping for a chance to wield it, but it's aggression out long and aggression into mid as Paz, he finds an opening, but it's traded out in favor of Na'Vi. Damage being done, just putting these Sangal players down. It seems like Na'Vi are finally finding some form behind them. They get themselves into double digits. So, again, not going to be feeling like they were stomped out here on Dust 2, but still 5 more rounds to find. It's a tough task.
And I once said it would be easy, though.
No.
At the end of the day.
Certainly not.
If we could all be the next Astralis or the next sort of best team in the world, I think we'd all do it, wouldn't we? So it takes time, it takes graft, and at least in this best of 3, it's going to take all of those things, a little bit more grit to get through to just a third map for Na'Vi. At this rate, that's what they're trying to avoid. They don't have to fight through that third map, just have a chance of winning the series, but they can do one better. They can get the 2-0 if they can secure not only overtime, but then take the victory as well. But it seems like a hard-pressed feat. Let's take it in baby steps. So far, the goal, get to 15-15. They've done a good job at getting the last couple of rounds linked together. Another good opening kill here as well. Relatively well set up for the short play that is inevitably going to be coming their way. Only pistols means we're going to be seeing Sangal move quick and fast. And that's where someone like Fear, to be fair to him, has started to really step up here. We saw that triple kill in the previous round. I'm expecting to see a little bit more of that here as they do push up through short. Sooner rather than later. There the flash comes, the Molotov to follow as well. And this is it. It's all going to come down to this. The kills come through. The pistols, they do win out so far. It's a double kill in the bag, but it will actually be the teammate from Pit to secure the trade kills to at least make this doable. But it will have to be a retake. And that does not come without costs.
Oh no.
Oh, that's not a frag you want to lose.
Really isn't. Cynix and Pogolev, though, just about mop it up for the Na'Vi Junior side. That I was worried for a second. Oh dear. That could have been oh so heartbreaking for Na'Vi Junior. They do recover and save the open and AK across as they find 11 on the board. Now just 4 behind Sangal. They'll go for the full buy. And will they go for Sensei on the AWP? He has cash to go for armor and that weapon. He does indeed do it. Now, Flakes. Sangal, this is their next chance to win this game out. Otherwise, they're eco again. And you see Na'Vi Junior up to 13 before another buy comes through. But Sangal on the AWP has been finding openings, especially on the CT side. Less so on the T side, but still doing good work for that weapon. Hoping to find something here. Onkit has a little bit of a peek around the smoke. Trying to jump for a bit of intel. Won't spot anything out. Pogolev, hello.
I wonder if that's a bit of fake intel, actually, because they know that Engine's right there, so... him shooting them and using the molly to push him back will be a bit of a giveaway that they were monitoring it, so I'm not quite going to be able to play any mind games off the back of that. Fear has to be careful that he's not going to be crept up on by the tip of the smoke here, but I think just heard the drop down from the box, since you can see the pivot in his crosshair placement.
45 seconds, though. They've not got much time, Flakes. They are starting to get to the point where they need to be setting up utility for one of these sites. And that's not going to make things easier. Onkir, a nice opening kill.
Nice damage done so far. Let's see if they can cash in on it, though. They have to be careful not to concede this B site. It's a beast to retake, even in a 3-on-3.
All three of these
Not
players.
so sure about this one.
All three of these players from CT. I don't know. The time's ticking down. Flakes, I have no idea.
They've got the flash, right? This is going to come down to you need an absolutely incredible flash, and the entries need to come quick and fast. Unfortunately, so far, not going their way. It's an awkward affair. The no-scope comes through, but now it's just logic. All logic has to do is find a simple kill, and he does just that. Beautifully done. And a map in the bag.
Yeah, they do take 16. It took a few rounds at the end there once they got to map point, but they are going to take us to Mirage. It is going to be NAVI Junior. Excuse me. Trying to battle it out now as the series goes 1-1, as both of these teams hoping to secure themselves a 2-0 scoreline in the Swiss system. So stay tuned. We'll be back on Mirage after a very short break.
Feel free to talk.
Boss, we've done all as you said.
Are you sure about that?
Yes, boss. Everything like you asked. It's in my car, boss.
I'm surprised. You're actually good for something.
So, where is it, Brady?
Here, in the trunk.
What the fuck is that? You fat Irish prick. You're supposed to bring me a code, not a skinny animal kid. Where is LOOT.BET code I asked it for?
Well, he wasn't talking.
Are you out your mind, Brady? Because I swear, I put your brain to sleep. He ain't talking because his fucking mouth is closed.
So, maybe I should open it.
Oh, don't kill me, please. I tell you everything. Code is loot, loot. I'm young. I don't wanna die.
Boss, code is loot.
Oh my god, idiot. Fuck, I surrendered by idiots.
Hey, kid. Sorry about that.